What's crackin', movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's your boy C-Dub, and today we got the kid Brendan Meyer taking on Alonso Duralde. These are two of the nicest competitors in the league. This should be a very entertaining match. It's knowledge against knowledge. Really, Alonso, he's a great player, but I gotta go with the kid on this one. I think he's gonna eke this one out, but it should be a fun match, so let's get it started.
We are ready for you. So give it your best shot and come for the belts. We'll be waiting.
August 21st, Dan Merle, John Roca will be defending their titles against corruption.
I'm going to channel that into anger so that Dan and I absolutely stomp all over those two little boys.
We're coming back for our belts where they belong, my friend. Get it warm for me, baby. Get it warm.
August 21st, Schmoedownlive.com or join patreon.com/Schmoedown. Join today at the $10 tier so you can get that match. Hello everybody, welcome back to the movie trivia Schmoedown, the singles tournament. It is continuing here today. I am Christian Harloff, not joined by Mark Ellis just yet. Will he show up in rounds 2 or 3? That is part of the game here today. But if not, I am going to call the game all by my lonesome. Have I done it before? No, I don't think I have. Can I do it? We'll find out. But this is going to be a lot of fun on this show today because these are two really knowledgeable competitors we have in both Alonso Duralde and Brendan the Kid Meyer. Now, the thing is, as we've talked about in the past, and we've talked about it in this tournament, it really could be a question of who knows the game better. Because we know what Alonso Duralde knows. We know how much of a brilliant film mind he has. I've known him for a very long time, and when you want to know about movies, you ask Alonso. But it doesn't mean he knows the game as well as Brendan Meyer. Brendan Meyer won the team's tournament last year. He got very far in the singles tournament. He lasted, I don't know, something like 75 rounds in the last free-for-all that we did. He is a superstar in the movie trivia Schmoedown because he's a student of the game. Now, we saw what Alonso Duralde did with Whitney Seibold in his team of Deep 13. Deep 13 proved that Alonso's learning the game a little bit more. Now, it wasn't his fault that Matt actually challenged his win last year. They would have been in the finals last year had that whole thing not gone down. But it doesn't take away from how much Alonso knows. So this is, even though he's never played a singles match before, this is not going to be a sure win for the kid, and he knows that. A lot of amazing knowledge about to be thrown our way, and it also means a lot for the factions. The Burning Drews, managed by Ken Knapsack. Ken Knapsack has proven that he has really been able to motivate his players, tell them about the game. Maybe there's a thing that Alonso doesn't necessarily know from playing in past games that Ken, being the pro that he is, helps him. Coy Jandreau, on the other hand, Brendan Meyer was his essentially second or first pick, the way that you look at it. He picked Shazam right away. He worked with Brendan brilliantly in that triple threat match where Brendan was the second one eliminated, where ultimately Dan Merle won it, but he was head-to-head with Dan Merle, and we haven't seen him since. So we know that he's antsy, we know he wants to play, and that's where we are today. So we all let up there. I just told you the whole damn thing, but I don't edit the way that Eric, the great Nerd Chronic, does. So here you go.
Shazam! Shazam!
kid has done so far. He did very well. He became a star in the free-for-all.
We have an upset Cinderella story in the making.
Look at this kid.
The kid!
Wow.
What an ovation for the kid!
And what this kid can do by standing for 5 hours, I cannot wait to see this today.
He went toe-to-toe with Dan Merle and his own Shazam teammate, the formidable William the Beast Bibiani. And look, that was an amazing match. It was heartbreaking to lose by 1 point, to be that close. But yeah, I'm looking to get a win this time. I have a really tough opponent here in Alonso Duralde. I mean, he's a super knowledgeable player.
We'll see if I am. I think so. I think I've got a good shot at this. I'm up against the kid who's, impressive and knows a lot of stuff. Here's hoping that age and experience actually means something. And my manager, who apparently I have one, we've never met, but I can.
Here's the thing. Alonso Duralde does not need me as a manager. He can take care of himself in life, which is why I'm glad he's on my team. I can put my energies elsewhere, like categorizing my old TV guides.
I guess I'm not quite ready to take that next step in singles. I am good at the Schmoedown, but I don't think I can get to these kinds of matches right now without an elite top-level player. It's a great challenge for me to see where I'm at in this league, because I think I've proved that I can hang with the best players and that I'm worthy to compete with the best players. Singles in our division, we are coming for you, everybody, and it starts right now with the kid.
It's a good nickname, the kid, because when you say it, you're like, what a good kid. Little happy-go-lucky persona, that cherub angel face. Do I look like someone that wants to have cheer around him? No.
I still don't know what a manager does, but I'm sure you're a good one.
As we said, the match is set. It is clear. Alonso is excited to play. The kid's certainly eager to get back into the Schmoedown battlefield. And both Ken and Coy looking to pick up wins for their factions. Speaking of Ken and Coy, here he is with a brand new hood. Ken Napsok and his counterpart here today, Coy Jandrew. Gentlemen, big match here as we see this 3-point, potentially 4-point game. Let's start with you, Ken Napsok. We've given you your props as far as how you've been managing thus far. What have the conversations been like with Alonso Duralde?
I'll tell you, first of all, are you sure you've given me props, as you say? I don't think you ever really do. That's fine. It's not about me. Here's the great thing about managing Alonso Duralde. He is a gentleman. He's a professional. He has perspective on life in this game, so therefore I can be the absentee father I was born to be as a manager with him. I just got to make sure he feels comfortable, that I'm in his corner when he needs to be. Other than that, he knows what he wants to do out there, and that's where I come in as a manager. You have to know each individual player. Do you hover like a helicopter parent, or do you just say, get outside, kid, and go figure it out yourself? Alonso is definitely someone who knows how to handle himself.
Well, if you watched yesterday's match, you saw how much props I gave you with that win by Gator Paramo yesterday over Jim Vavidas. So yes, I gave you your props. Sure. Yes, I did. And I will also give props to this gentleman here, and that's Coy Jandrew. Coy, you're anybody that you talk to on your faction, maybe right now the faction points are, you're not in the leadership role, you're not in the leadership position yet with the Finstock exchanges of the world and corruption and swag, but your competitors have all said how much you have meant to them as far as inspiration, and that was really pretty clear in New York in the beginning of this year. How's the relationship with you and the kid, and how's he feeling going into this match?
I mean, what I love about New York is we were all actually able to get to know each other well outside the confines of the studio. It was it felt like when you're in school and you go on that giant field trip with your friends and you really get to know them. And I feel like I would change nothing about that trip. It was lovely getting to know the kid. It was lovely getting to know Bibbs. But I feel like me and the kid, we went out and got buffalo chicken in New York. We talked over pizza. We bonded. And ever since, there's been this really great shorthand where I know just when to check in, just when to let him watch 100 movies, what direction to kind of push him a little bit but not too hard. I feel like there's a great shorthand with me and the kid, and I also really like him, so I'm really excited to just hang out. I miss seeing the kid, so today's as much about being here with you as being here with him, and I can't wait to see him win, but that's secondary to the fun we're going to have, because that's the Quirky Merc way.
Ken, now look, The other thing is you were kind of thrown into this by your faction. They voted on you, and I saw it. It was that same look I saw yesterday. It was the same look I saw when you won your first Star Wars championship. There was a glimmer. There was a glimmer of maybe you could win this thing. Maybe you can do this. And that wasn't even one of your power hitters with Jader. Alonso's a power hitter. So if Alonso is to pull this thing off today, what are the Drew's chances of really making a run?
Well, we'll just know after it. I'm like Emperor Palpatine. I have a long-term plan, but you adjust on the fly. All right, that's it. And look, what is this stuff with? Look, I love Coy. I've known Coy for a long time. He and his Errol Flynn facial hair are just dazzling at parties. Brendan's great. This cheery disposition, fun was outlawed in the Schmoedown around 2017 by the fans. All right, me and Duralde are here for the game, for the match, to see where we're going. Doesn't mean I don't want to one day share a Christmas eggnog with Alonso, because he's a wonderful chap. We're here to compete, Christian, and as far as the points, we'll see where we go. We don't put too much pressure on ourselves, because the game puts enough pressure on us.
All right, so I will then just say this, gentlemen, this is going to be a really, really fun match. A lot of knowledge between these two competitors, and I wish you luck. So with that, I'm going to put both Coy and Ken in the waiting room as we get to our first competitor. Mark, are you ready? Mark's ready. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown.
Yeah!
Introducing first, representing the Burning Drews, making his Schmoedown singles debut. He is Alonso Duralde. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Alonso, it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. You are back here the first time. I remember you've told me many times, I want to compete in singles. I want to play in singles. And now you're playing in singles, and you're in the tournament here against Brendan Meyer. How do you feel about going up against the kid?
I have no one to blame but myself for this. It's exciting. I want to see how this all plays out. I've done a couple of free-for-alls, plenty of team play. This is my first time where it's just me, in the unforgiving light of my laptop computer. So, I think it's going to be an exciting match. Obviously, we bring different stuff to the table, but stuff we certainly bring. So that's what we're going to be seeing in this match, stuff.
Well, and I had mentioned up top here, Alonso, about the fact that you and Whitney have actually worked very well together this season, obviously knowing each other, but being able to kind of learn the game. Do you feel that you've learned the Schmoedown game itself a little bit more than, say, you did maybe even like a season ago? Or do you feel like, look, I'm just going to go in here with my knowledge and we'll see where it takes me?
No, I think you get behind that desk enough times and you start to pick up on the niceties of when do I use my GTE rule and what can I challenge and when can I steal and not steal and all of that good stuff. So, I obviously a lot of people know this stuff way better than I do, but I do feel like I'm getting more comfortable with the mechanics of how this thing works. And I do bring my lifetime of sort of, nerdy accumulation of useless facts, and that's what we're here for.
Well, we're excited to have you back as always, Alonso. We're going to put you in the waiting room until we bring out your opponent, so good luck. And his opponent, representing the Working Mercs, with a record of 3 wins, 3 defeats, and 2 knockouts. He is the 2019 Ultimate Schmoedown Team's winner. He is the kid, Brendan Meyer. Brendan.
Hey.
Crazy to have you back. Look, man, I feel like I couldn't get rid of you last season. And now this season we haven't seen as much, and I know from our conversations that you and I have had how much you love this game. And has it been eating you up inside that you haven't been able to play?
Yeah, it has been. It's funny, I was thinking about this just this week when I was finally going to be playing, and I was like, I think this is the longest layoff. I'm sure it's the same way for most people, but it's the longest layoff I've had not playing a match since the very first one, And so, last year I was playing a lot, sometimes 2 times a day. So, it was weird to kind of be so in it and then kind of be taken out of it. So I'm excited to just get a chance to play again, and hopefully I've accumulated a lot more knowledge in that time. We'll see.
Well, look, Look who he is.
Oh!
He's made it. He's made it. Mark Ellis is here. Mark, I've already interviewed the great Alonso Duralde, and I'm just asking Brendan Meyer here, the kid, about how he's doing going into it. But Brendan, the second follow-up question I have before Mark gets settled is in regards to this tournament. You are not a stranger to tournaments. You not only did you make your name, I would say, in the free-for-all, but then you had a nice run in the singles tournament, and then you win the teams tournament. So is that kind of satisfying in the fact that when you are coming back, you're coming back to tournament season, something that you are pretty familiar with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to focus on the positive stuff in this game because there can be pressure. And the thing is I've had things go my way before in the tournament season. So I just have to hope that comes to fruition again. But it's a tough game. You know, I played Whitney in the first round last year, and it was close. He got opponent's choice. I was able to get some steals. Who knows what would have happened if it would have gone a different way. So we'll see. I'm excited to be here. And yeah, but I have good memories. I have good vibes for the tournaments. And so this is good.
Yeah, all right. So I'm not sure which competitor I'm talking to here, Christian. Brendan, I understand that you wrote a book called "Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas." Tell us about that.
That was Mark. That was Alonso.
Okay. Then Brendan, I'll just ask you. I see Soundwave in a frame behind you on your left shoulder. So if that is representative of your heartbeat, would you say that's accurate, or are you beating a little faster because you know it's a tournament setting?
Wow. You're exposing how little I know about what an irregular heartbeat would look like. I'm assuming it'd be higher than that.
All right, well,
I'm in the movie Trivia Schmoedown, not the Doctor Trivia Schmoedown.
that's right. All right.
Dr. Meyer is my father, you know?
Well, Dr. Meyer, we're going to come here for just a second. We're going to bring Alonso back, and there is the kid. All right, the competitors have arrived. Mark Ellis has arrived, and now we get to the rules of round number one. Mark, late stuff. Ellis, can you please give them the breakdown of the rules?
Yeah, the rules are Alonso wins. Look at that facial hair. God, Brendan, can you ever in your life grow something like that, do you think?
It looked just like that. I shaved for the match. I should have kept it. It looked just like that. Not more than 5 days ago.
You two fellas together. What a great ad for Manscaped.
Maybe 5.5 months not being able to see a barber. This is the result.
It's really incredible. All right, so Mark, the rules, please.
Yes, now we will get to the rules of round number one. This is the movie Trivia Schmoedown singles format, which means the field of competitors, boy and man, will hear 8 questions from 8 different corners of movie Trivia Schmoedown know-how. Your first question, your last question, and every question in between is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing, not in round number one anyway. As soon as we ask the question, you have 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer with whatever utensil you have handy on whatever surface you prefer. Once we ask you by name or nickname to reveal your answer, please show what you wrote to the camera. At the same time, you verbalize your answer into the microphone. I'll remind each competitor of your 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. If you're not sure you heard a question right, you want to buy yourself another 15 seconds, use a JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge to be used at any time. You may initiate the challenge, but your manager is going to come in and they are the ones that have to ratify and confirm that the challenge is being utilized. Christian, I feel like a new boy here, and you guys have already started the circus, so just get me to the center ring and let's see some elephants.
Fair enough. We start with the kid. Are you ready?
I'm ready, yep.
Alonso, you ready?
Let's do it.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown! Round number one, question number one, gentlemen. It comes into the realm of action adventure. What is the subtitle of the 4th film in the Mad Max franchise?
It's nice to take a breath, Christian.
Sure it is.
In a day.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, but you made it, buddy. I'm glad you made it right before the
Mad
match. That's
Max
okay.
Fury Road.
5,
Hands like this, easy.
4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down, please. And Brendan.
Fury Road?
Yes, it is. Alonso.
Fury Road.
Correct. 1-1. Meyer and Duralde are tied. Next.
Very good movie in black and white or glorious Technicolor. Your next question is in the world of Oscar movies. And your query, Daniel Day-Lewis won his 2nd Best Actor Oscar for what 2007 released film? Some people call him by his full name, Christian. I like Double D. Lewis.
Well, I think
There
that's a totally
will be
different person.
blood.
You might be onto something.
5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. Pens down, please. And Alonso.
In the name of the Father?
That's incorrect. And Brendan?
There will be blood.
That's correct for 1 point. All right, so the kid takes his first lead as we get to question number 3. Dramas. You'll find the town of Bedford Falls in which classic film?
Christian, I think about There Will Be Blood. I think about that milkshake line. Do you have a favorite milkshake?
Peanut butter and chocolate.
You gotta go Wendy's, Frosty, the classic.
I believe
And
it's
5.
It's a Wonderful Life.
3, hands up. 2, 1, hands down. And we start with Brennan.
It's a Wonderful Life?
Yes, and Alonso.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Alonso would have left the stream if he got there. All right, next question.
He has written novels about this subject, available wherever fine books are sold. Your next question, gentlemen, is in the world of directors. And the question is, James Wan has directed 3 sequels. Name one of them.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I like these kind of things where it's like, it makes you nervous because it's like, hey, this guy's done
Time for
11
it.
things.
Yep.
We just need one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and we start with Alonso.
Fast 7.
Fast 7 counts,
Oh.
and
Giving us chapter 2?
that also counts.
Okay,
So,
cool.
there we go. So, now we get to our next question. Here it is. Fantasy sci-fi. Who plays Evan Treeborn, who can time travel into his past by reading his old journals in The Butterfly Effect?
All right, Christian, I'm going to give you the option. Go into your past. What's the one thing you're going to tell your former self?
Ashton Kutcher.
Don't do it.
But is that in regards to...
You didn't ask that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please, and we start with the kid.
Ashton Kutcher?
That is correct. And Alonso?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yes. Okay, next question there, Mark.
Your next question, gentlemen, is in the world of comedies, as the studio howls with laughter. Your question: which actress plays the main lead, Annie Walker, in the film Bridesmaids?
Oh.
Boy, were we rolling in the theater watching this one.
And remember, I went into it not knowing what to expect. I did not know it was going to be any good, and I thought it was a brilliant comedy.
We were...
What is her name? She was in Ghostbusters. She's going to be in Wonder Woman. Kate? No, not Kate. Freak! What is her name? Melissa McCarthy. Kate McKinnon. Leslie Jones. And what's the other girl's name? I'm blanking on her name. Holy shit, how can I forget her name? I can't remember it.
Rolling in the aisles. One of the hardest laugh movies I've ever seen.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just one more second here. What the hell? How can I remember everybody else from Ghostbusters but her? Son of a bitch!
Pens down, please, and we start with Alonso.
Kristen Wiig.
Yes, and the kid.
Kristen Wiig.
You got it. All right. So we see ourselves now 6-5. Brendan Meyer has a 1-point lead over Alonso Duralde. As we get to our next question, horror/thriller is the next category, gentlemen. Which 2008 horror thriller stars Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman as a couple whose home is invaded?
Used to play against Scott Speedman in rec league basketball.
Stranger.
Any good?
Well, I have 4 championship trophies, Christian. Want to ask him how many he has?
Well, I asked if he was any good. And 5, 4,
He could ball.
2, 1. Pens down, please. And Brendan Meyer.
The Strangers?
It is. And Alonso.
The Strangers.
Correct. 7-6 as we get to our last question in the round. However, the kid, Brendan Meyer, has a perfect round thus far. If he hits this question, then he and only he will get a bonus question. Here is the question mark. It's what realm?
He's in the world of animated movies, Christian, drawn by hand on a computer. We'll take either kind. Your question, gentlemen. What 2019 animated film featured the Oscar-nominated song Into the Unknown? And here's my strangest impression. You ready?
It's good. That's pretty good, actually.
Yes, I'm wearing sweatpants.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Alonso?
Frozen 2.
You got it, and the kid?
Frozen 2.
Perfect round for the kid, 8-7, as we get to a bonus question here. So once again,
Put my hands up.
Brendan, you do not have to write anything down for this one. You just have to answer it on your own. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here you go. Who directed the 2013 Western adventure, The Lone Ranger?
Gore Verbinski?
That's correct for one more point. So Brendan Meyer goes up by 2. Alonso just missing 1, but of course Brendan Meyer had that bonus. So now we get to the rules of round number 2. Mark, how's it go?
That's right, gentlemen. Remember to keep your hands up during the reading of the rule.
I like your freaking momentum, man. I think you're grooving. So I personally would say, with especially that bonus, do you feel like you want to carry that momentum on?
I gotta be honest with you, usually I let the other person spin second, but I agree momentum is a big deal. But I just like to see Alonso go. I'd like to see what he gets. I'd like to know. Momentum is a big deal, but I just like to see Alonso go. I'd like to see what he gets. I'd like to know, because round 2 changes everything. So I'd like to see what Alonso does. I know he could do amazing. Who knows, maybe he gets something that he wouldn't do as good, and I'd rather have that information, I think. That's cool with you.
Absolutely. I mean, you like pressure, so I think we go either way. Let's get your heart rate like that sound thing behind you.
Yeah, no, I'll let Alonso go first.
All right, so that's the decision. So Alonso will be going first. Thank you, gentlemen. Drop you guys out. Bringing back both Ken and Alonso. Ken, you got 60 seconds to talk to Alonso before the wheel comes up, starting now.
Alonso, first of all, no one's going to give you credit for this. The way you held up your hands was like a Dawn soap commercial, and I thought it was beautiful and inspiring, all right? Take your time, even if you know the answer. Don't worry about the 2 points. Brendan's Canadian. Eventually, he'll feel guilty about that and donate some points to us. Choose your strengths. Take your time. JT rules. I'm here for you. You got this. You ready to spend, sir?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Here comes the wheel.
All right, there's the wheel. Animated Films is a sponsored slice, so if somebody spins that, then we're going to give a shout out to the Patreon member who sponsored it. Thanks to all of our Movie Trivia Schmoedown patrons.
Thank you, Mark. All right, here's the first spin by Alonso Duralde.
Christian, I'm getting a Skeletor's older brother vibe from Ken Knapsack.
Yeah, I would say so. Movie release dates. 60 seconds to figure out what you want to do here, starting now.
Oh, I think we're spinning again.
Yeah, love it.
All right, well, here's that spin. Second spin, whatever it is now. Alonso will take as we get to the category in round number 2, Mark. And we're landing on 80 films. Oh, yeah. 80 films. All right, so we're going to remove Ken. We're going to bring back Brendan Meyer here. And we're going to get 4 questions, Alonso, in the realm of the 80s. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here you go. Question number 1, Alonso. Which Oscar-winning actor co-stars in 1987's Jaws the Revenge?
Michael Caine.
That's correct for 2 points.
Get those hands up, Alonso. Now I actually need them up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right, here you go. In 1982's Tootsie, what is the name of the popular daytime soap opera that Michael Dorsey joins?
Oh, shit. Multiple choice, please.
A. General Hospital. B. The Sun Also Sets. C. Southwest General. D.
Southwest
Days
General?
of the Week.
That would be C, Southwest General.
Correct for 1 point. Here's question 3. Danny Noonan is a young man who hopes to earn a college scholarship by working at the Bushwood Country Club in which 1980s comedy?
Caddyshack.
2 more points. And finally, your last question, Alonso, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Who directed 1984's Gremlins?
Right?
Dante.
For 2 more points, Alonso Duralde has a very solid round as he finds himself down 14-9.
Great round, Alonso. Great round.
Down by Alonso. All right, Alonso going to drop you out here, bringing back Corey Jandrew, and now 60 more seconds to decide. Excuse me, let's get the wheel up there. Excuse me. Let's get the wheel up, and now let's spin that wheel.
See a lot of temptation on that wheel, Christian. I'm loving that Jim Carrey category.
Audrey Hepburn, 60 seconds to decide if you want.
This is very similar to something we talked about as far as strengths and goals, but that sound you made worries me a little.
The only reason why I'm worried about it is I know he's very, very good at it. I honestly feel okay about it, and I think I would like to go ahead and see what happens with this one.
So do you feel okay enough that you think this is stronger than any of the other options that remain? Like, do you want?
See, it's tough. It's about split. It's about there's a couple things here that I'm a little more worried about, and then of course there's definitely a few things that I am more excited about. I think I'm going to stick with it though. I want to stick.
I'll remove him from the equation. Make sure it's about your choice. So yeah.
It is about no. It's purely just based on I know there's things that I'm worse at, and I'd rather just stick with it.
Okay, let's go with things that are worse at not getting the wheel. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so he's sticking with it. All right, so he's going to stick with Audrey Hepburn. Going to remove remove Coy. Going to, actually going to do this. Excuse me, gentlemen. All right, so now Mark, he chose to stay on Audrey Hepburn, and now there's going to be 4 questions in the realm of Audrey Hepburn.
That's right. Really good. Silver lining in this time is getting to hear the Insight Manager competitor. That was compelling stuff. Your 2-point question, the world of Audrey Hepburn. Your first of 4, Brendan. What romantic comedy starring Audrey Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart had a 90s remake which starred Harrison Ford?
Sabrina.
That's 2 points.
That's 2 points. All right, here is the second question.
All right. The Kid. Audrey Hepburn's final film appearance came in what Steven Spielberg film?
Always.
You might have picked the right category here, Christian. That's 2 more for him.
So far, so good for the Kid as we get to it.
All right. In 1961's The Children's Hour, a young girl accuses the women who run her school of being what?
Oh man. I mean, okay. Can you just repeat the question for me?
That's 1.
Certainly. In 1961's The Children's Hour, a young girl accuses the women who run her school of being what?
Is it being in a romantic relationship?
Can you elaborate?
You know what? Do I have to elaborate? Oh, geez. Can I go multiple choice then? Because I'm just feeling a little bit like I have to then, because now I'm a little bit unsure.
You can choose multiple choice.
Okay, now I'm a little bit unsure.
Okay, for 1 point, your options. Is it A, communists, B, child abusers, C, Nazi sympathizers, or D, lesbians?
Well, lesbians.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Wait. Is that right?
That's correct.
Well, I would like. Can I challenge that I should have been right?
If you want to bring in Coy, would you like to use your? Hold on. If you want to challenge, hold on a second. Coy.
I was about to say I would argue that the other 3 options aren't relationship based. So his argument is to me sound that the only.
All right, let me drop Alonso. You guys, are you using official challenge here?
I'd like to challenge this. Yes. Yeah.
And we are back after deliberation. Mark, go ahead and read the.
So after a conference with the judges, the decision that we have rendered is as follows. When I did ask Brendan the 2-point question, he answered with what we deem to be part of a correct answer. I did ask him to elaborate, and it was not satisfactory to award him the 2 points. However, we do think that Brendan knew the answer. He proved as much during the multiple choice round, so we will award Brendan 1 point for getting the multiple choice. He gets 1 point, not 2, and we will now move on to Brendan's last question in the world of Audrey Hepburn.
Can I ask one thing? Do I keep my challenge then, or do I lose it?
I would say your challenge was not overruled and it was not upheld, so you retain the challenge.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to know. Cool.
All right.
Well, I got 1 point for that.
So
That's perfect.
and with this, Brendan Meyer has just surpassed Sam Levine in the challenges round.
No, I just wanted to.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. All right. Let's go to, this is the last question here, Mark.
Yes, it is. And this is in the world of Audrey Hepburn. Brendan Meyer having a sterling round so far. And he closed out with 2 more points. Brendan, your question. In How to Steal a Million, what type of object is Audrey Hepburn's character attempting to steal, which is worth $1 million?
A diamond necklace?
I think I know. Just to be 100% safe, I'm going to go multiple choice. I probably shouldn't, but I just don't want to risk giving up a 2-point steal.
All right, multiple choice. Here we go.
Don't worry, it's more cut and dry than the last question. Your options. Is it A, a painting, B, a diamond, C, a
Diamond?
statue, or D, a historical document?
A diamond?
That is incorrect.
shoot.
Alonso, I'm going to read the question again,
Mistake.
and then I'm going to give you your options. In How to Steal a Million, what type of object is Audrey Hepburn's character attempting to steal, which is worth $1 million? Your
painting?
options. Is it A, a painting, B, a diamond, C, a statue, or D, a historical document?
C, a statue.
That's a big 1-point steal for Alonso, Christian.
Huge one. Look, I think, as much as I joke, I think that the kid played that exactly right. I think he wasn't sure on it, made a really worthy challenge. Didn't make a challenge, but nonetheless, finds himself down 1 point to Alonso Duralde, but he still did very well in that Hepburn category. All right, so now we bring back both Coy and Ken as we get to the rules of round number 3.
In round number 3, each competitor is going to give us a series of numbers. We need numbers that can range from 1 to 20. We need 3 numbers from each of you. These numbers may not be the same as what your opponent selects. Why do we need the numbers? Well, they correspond to a different corner of movie, trivia, Schmoedown goodness. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your next one is worth 3 points. Your last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 of the biggest points of the tournament for each of you gentlemen. I'll remind you each that there is no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round number 3. Alonso, based on that steal, you have a 1-point lead over the kid, so you can give us your 3 lucky numbers first. From 1 to 20, what do you got?
Let's go 5, 7, 9.
5, 7, and 9 for Alonso, and for Brendan?
1, 10, and 4.
1, 10, and 4 for Brendan. All right, so Alonso, you will speak to Ken here for 60 seconds. Here we go. Ken?
Alonso, talk to me. How are you feeling going into this final round, my friend?
Good. I mean, round 2, things can switch around. Obviously, we're not out of the woods yet. This is still super close, and I'm the newbie here, so I got to bring it. But hopefully, these are questions that make some sense and that I can actually tackle.
You're doing great. You're taking a beat. Even if you know the answer, you've got great candles on your bookshelf. You're witchy man back there. And the pressure's on him. He's like a Canadian who's been served flapjacks without a syrup. He's a little out of sorts right now. Let him stew in those juices. Let's just take it to the end here.
Thank you.
All right, so now let's Coy. You got 60 seconds to talk to the kids starting now.
So you remember backstage in New York how we just had a Schmoedown twist thrown at us and we were disoriented, and then you played the singles game of your life to date. I feel very similarly right now. Like we just had a little hiccup, it threw us off for a minute, but luckily that happened with the 3rd question, so it only threw us off for 1 question round 2. How are you feeling going into round 3?
You know what? I feel okay. I mean, it was a bit of a risk taking Audrey Hepburn because I feel very comfortable with it, but I knew if one of the movies I hadn't actually seen came up, he might be able to steal, and that's what happens sometimes. But I still got 5 points out of the round, and really knew 3 of them, so I still feel good about it. I feel like it was the right choice. Who knows what else?
I enjoyed, as a fan of this, I enjoyed watching it, so I'm really excited for round 3. I just want to make sure you're in the zone.
I'm in the zone. Sorry, I just had some family come in. Yes, I'm good.
The definition of in the zone. Okay, let's do this.
That's it. That's the time. So, all right, thank you. We're going to drop out both Coy and Ken as we get to the final round here. Brendan Meyer chose category number 1. Category number 1, that That is in the realm of action, adventure. Brendan.
All right.
Jason Statham.
What action star plays knife expert Lee Christmas, who is the number 2 guy to
Jason
Sylvester
Statham.
Stallone's character in the Expendable films?
Jason Statham?
That's correct for 2 points. Brandon Meyer takes his lead back, Mark. And now it bounces back to Alonso, who chose category number 5.
Oh, did he? Well, then, Alonso, that means that you have drawn a director who made a shark movie. I think he's got a lot of potential. His name is Steven Spielberg. Okay. For 2 points, and to give you your lead back from the kid, Stanley Tucci plays Frank Dixon, the temporary customs director of JFK, in what 2004 Steven Spielberg directed film?
The Terminal.
Alonso's back on top, Christian.
Back on top, back and forth we go, and now it bounces back to Brendan Meyer, who chose category number 10. Brandon, you're going to be very upset about this. Oscar movies.
Well, who knows, man? Who knows?
Oscar movies. All right, here you go.
I could miss it.
For your 3 points. For what movie did Annette Bening receive her first Oscar nomination?
The Grifters.
Correct for 3 points. Brendan Meyer going back to take the lead as we just ping pong back and forth. 1917 now, the kid, as Alonso gets his 3-pointer, which is category number 7. Mark, and that it. What?
It's in the category, as I'm being disrespected, is classics. Oh. The classic. Are you done? Thank you. Classics. All right. Alonso for 3 points, and once again to reclaim the lead. Your question. The category of classics in the film, The Bishop's Wife. It stars which Hollywood Golden Age actor as an angel sent from heaven?
Cary Grant.
And boy, wasn't he. Alonso Duralde. Once again, Christian, back and forth we go with these lead changes.
Yes, and now he's forced the hand of the kid. Now, if the kid hits his 5-pointer, then he's going to force Alonso to hit his 5 to win the game. However, if the kid misses his 5-pointer, then Alonso Duralde will move on to play either Matt Atchity, his former teammate, or Mark and Draco. All right, here we go. This is for the kid who had chosen category number 4. That is in the realm of Tom Hanks movies. All right, here you go. In Sleepless in Seattle, what did Jonah accidentally leave behind on top of the Empire State Building that leads to the first official meeting between Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan?
His backpack.
Wow, 5 points for Brendan. I guess you've seen that movie. All right. So 5 points there to Brendan, who now forces the hand of Alonso Duralde. Same scenario. If Alonso hits it, he moves on. Plays either Matt Atchity or Mark Andraco. But if he does not hit it, Brendan Meyer will advance to the next round. And Alonso chose category number 9, Mark.
Yes, he did, Christian, and that is going to correspond to... We had a great conversation about this category one time at a live Rotten Tomatoes Your Opinion Sucks panel, Alonso. The category is animated movies. All right. Alonso set me straight then, and now I get to return the favor possibly. All right, Alonso, for 5 points and the win to advance in the tournament. Your question, the world of animation. What comedic actor provides the voice of the title character in Captain Underpants?
Bill Hader?
And your winner, advancing to the next round, the kid.
Oh my God. Alonso. Wow, I didn't know that one. So
Ed Helm.
Oh my God. I really thought I was going to lose just because I didn't say, oh my God. They were lesbians. Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I thought lesbians were going to cost me my kids. Oh my gosh. Oh, Alonso, amazing game. Dude, you played just as well as I expected you to, man. Oh my God.
Well played, sir. This was a lot of fun.
Oh no, Alonso, it's so funny. I read a lot of your reviews about it. I actually recently just watched The Truth, the Hirokazu Koreeda film, and I was looking up. I'm like, hey, Alonso disagree with you.
All right, well, listen.
I kind of thought that was it. Oh my God.
Hell of a game. I'll put you in the waiting room here just for a second with you and Ken. Just one moment. Hell of a game, Alonso. Give me one moment as we talk to both Coy and Brendan.
Oh man.
Brendan, I got to start with you. You thought it was over, huh?
Well, when it was animated, I wasn't sure. Actually, when you asked the question, I actually thought, oh, that's tough. He might not know, but he is a film critic. And he answered quick enough that I kind of thought, oh, you know what? He seems to know it. So that's why I thought. If he'd burned the JTEs, then who knows? But when he answered relatively quickly, that's where I was worried. Wow. Wow.
I'll be honest, gentlemen, watching you two compete together, watching Coy Jandrew and watching Brendan Meyer in a competition, it's a lot like a Starbucks Trenta iced tea. Full of caffeine has come to life.
Actually, I'll tell you in a coffee by my family, I probably don't need it now after that.
It's fascinating to watch. And so, what was the moment of discovery? Go back a little ways. What was the moment of discovery between you two when you had that Crosby, Stills, and Nash harmonizing moment when you realized we are made for each other?
I gotta say, for me, it was the buffalo chicken.
Buffalo wings, man. No, of course. No, we were in New York, man. We were at the hotel, and we walked to the comedy show the night before, and we got food on the way, and it was so fun. And I'm glad I got some points for you, man. I really am. Because 24 is a good score. It's a good key score, and I thought, oh man, I'm just gonna come up short again. So I'm glad that I was able to get the win here.
I had so much fun watching that last moment because I didn't know the answer, so I got to go like, what name is to be said?
The match itself was
that's incredible.
You start with it. I mean, the kid's up by 2 going into round 2. Alonso has that incredible round 2. Round 2, he just crushes it. Obviously, the challenge kind of doesn't necessarily go your way, but doesn't go too far out of your way.
It didn't, right? Because it was almost a 1-point game, though, because I missed that one. So but I respect the decision. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to complain, but I couldn't believe it because I sort of knew it.
No, it was great. The challenge was understandable, and then I also thought I was proud of what the judges and the ruling in general, the way it came to be. However, round 3 comes out, and it's 2 points. 3 points.
Yeah.
And it's just back. It's like 2 boxers standing in the middle of the ring just slugging. And then that question comes in. Coy, same question I asked Brendan. First of all, yes, he did. He just get the big 3 points for the quirky merch, which we know you needed. And now, you see yourself going up against either Mark Andreyko or Matt Atchity. Preference?
I have a huge amount of respect for both of these gents, and that's not just, a buzz line, but I really always wanted to go up against Andreyko because I know him a little better, so just as my competitive nature, I love his work, I like him as a human, I don't know Ashley as well, so, I also like this to hang out with people, we're all trapped at home, so I kind of want to hang out with Andreyko.
What do you think, Brendan? What preference?
I don't have a preference, and then I think they would both be difficult. It would be cool to play Andreyko again, and weirdly enough, I love Mark. He's such a great guy, and I think he'd be a great test. And weirdly enough, I'm feeling these cool vibes because in the first round of the teams tournament, I was in a really tough match where my opponent had to miss the 5 for me to win, and then I played Andreyko in his incredible match, and I felt like that was really the moment where Shazam became a team for real. And for me, my whole Schmoedown career, it's like I seem to be able to get the wins against great opponents who aren't like on this path to the belts or former champions or all these different things. And I've never been able to beat one of those players who's been a champion like Mark. And so that would be an amazing test because I have no idea if I'd win or not, but I feel like that would be a real interesting thing. But actually, it would be tough too.
Brent, to be clear, the first time you guys would play, if it was indeed Andreyko's first time you would play.
I meant in singles, sorry. Yeah, again, I meant in teams when we played the Odd Couple, yeah.
But Atchity's another one who we'll see what kind of run he has against. I mean, I think the Andreyko and Atchity match is very similar to this match that we had here today. Atchity's knowledge is also unparalleled as far as what he knows. It's the question is, I don't think the gameplay was Alonso's problem at all. Alonso showed today that Alonso just hit a question at the end there that he didn't know. But Alonso played great. Alonso had a great game, and I think that type of game that Alonso Duralde has today should scare a lot of people. But either way, Brendan Meyer advancing to the next round. Quirky Mercs picking up a massive 3 points here as we get into the next round. All right, gentlemen, congratulations. We're going to try to take a little rest there, Brendan.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, no, thanks.
All right, see you soon. Bringing in now Ken Knapsack and Alonso Duralde. Alonso, going to start with you. First singles match, and it was a scrap. I mean, it was a real scrap, man. I mean, back and forth. And did you think if you took a little bit more time with that at the end, do you think you would have got it, or that's where you landed?
It was not there. I reviewed that movie when it came out. I liked that movie a lot, but I just, I had nothing, and I think I was at least in the ballpark of sort of genre of actor. But yeah, I would not, in a million years, I would probably not have come up with that helm. So nothing but respect for the kid. I mean, like, clearly I'm coming to his house on this one. He knows what he's doing. For the young guy to pick the Audrey Hepburn category when taking on the 50-something gay film critic, that's a flex.
Impressive, right?
Nothing but respect.
Yeah. No, he's done that though. I mean, he's done that in his overall career is what he's learning and what he's been able to do, and I think he did that here today. Like you said, it's like he wanted to challenge himself, and what better way to do that than to stick with Hepburn against Alonso Duralde? Ken, look, I'll give you the same credit, man. Your players, even though if you're coming out with a loss here, they are playing top level A+ ball game here, and I gotta say, a lot of your inspirational speeches, they gotta be doing something.
Look, this isn't about me. This is about Alonso today. Took his first big foray into the singles, and you did say something right for once, Harloff, there, that the rest of the league should take notice. Alonso should take notice of what he did here today. He put blood on the tracks, went out on a shield, all those kind of war cry kind of things to sum this up. Hader, Ed Helms, Jack Black, Rob Corddry, or mid-2000 comedy performers. Great. He could have guessed any one of them got it. Next time around, the question goes his way. Really proud of what he did today. Really proud of his future if he wants to go in singles. He's also a teams expert, so I can't be more proud of Alonso Duralde as a performer, as a man, and I hope to one day have a good Christmas eggnog with him. There's a couple other things on my mind. I just want Coy Jandreau to know that I worked out today as well before the show, and his traps aren't the only ones kind of burning right now. And Alice, the only thing you show up on time for is socially irresponsible chicken sandwiches. Come on, man.
I mean, look, Popeyes is pretty good. Alonso, speaking of chicken sandwiches, you better tell Dave he owes you a well-prepared meal because you fought your heart out today, my man. I want to ask you because you're always so cool, just relaxed and chill. At what point in the match did your heart rate start to get a little elevated? Like, oh man, this is really back and forth here.
I'm sure anybody paying attention to the water glass action will notice, like, when my mouth started getting dry, like, so yeah, definitely, because, early on I was like, oh, Daniel Day-Lewis curses, and I just thought, well, that's a lead I'm never going to make up for. So then to come out a point ahead at the end of round 2, I was sort of like, oh, so this could actually go. This could be a thing. And so yeah, that's sort of when you start getting a little nervy. But yeah, it was all the way to the end with this one.
You know, it's funny, it's just like kind of a peek behind the curtain here. Alonso Duralde and I, who have been friends for, it's got to coming over 10 years now. Yeah. And I remember having a conversation with you after the first free-for-all, and you're like, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think that I might kind of step back from it. I don't know how into it I'm going to get. And then, I don't know what changed, but at one point you said, I want to do this again. And then I saw the game part, you really seemed fired up about it, and I could be wrong here, but it seems like you want to keep doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. I have a great time doing it, and Dave always likes to talk about how he when he watches me play like board games with people, he goes, "The reason I'm not playing is because I look over and you've got that I'm going to win look on your face." So this does appeal to that part of me. Like, am I ever going to show up in a shower of confetti with elaborate costumes? No, but I have a great time being here, and so as long as you guys are welcoming, I'm thrilled to do it.
Oh, you know we are. I'm pleased to have you here. And again, Kenny, even the last question I guess for you is that even though they both played great, both Bonnie and Alonso, you do have only 2 people left here in the tournament. Are you, Jader obviously advancing. How are you feeling? Do you think you can still do this, or it doesn't matter? You've proven what you wanted to do, and you just would get a paycheck.
I do need that paycheck, but first of all, Shower of Confetti is the name of my first solo album, so pick it up wherever fine music is sold. No, Christian, we take each moment as they come. I don't know how long I'm in here for. You and I signed a day-by-day contract. We renew it every morning, and Jader did. I was into that. I'm into this. I'm so proud of Alonso. We'll see what Whitney can do. We'll see what we can do going forward, restoring some luster to this team. Happy to do it, and also happy to get paid for it, to answer your question.
Fair enough. All right, well, look, Alonso, once again, can't thank you enough for, A, being here and for putting on a hell of a match. As a fan of the sport in general, just watching you and Kid go back and forth like that is exactly why we like to do this game. So, thank you again. Congratulations on a well-fought match here. So, Ken, we'll see you very soon. Alonso, we'll see you in the teams division.
Yes.
All right, see you soon, guys. All right, dropping out both Alonso Duralde and Ken Knapsack. What can you say? Mark, that was exactly, what a fight it was. This is Alonso Duralde, who has never been in a singles match and just pushed the Kid, who's been in teams finals before. He's been in team title matches before. He's been in, number one contenders shots for the singles championship. He's been in free-for-alls, and Alonso came in here and said, you gotta earn this, Kid. And that's exactly what he did here today.
Yeah, the Kid showed up, and this was not a matter of the Kid being a little rusty and getting his ring rust off. The Kid showed up, he knew the game, he had the knowledge, he had the gameplay down, but he just ran into Alonso today. And when Alonso's on, Christian, you and I have seen it, he can rattle off movie facts that nobody's even heard of, including the people who are in the movies that he's talking about. And he just came up a little bit short today. The Kid brought the energy, Alonso brought a lot of heart, and this is one of my favorite matches that we've had so far. And this has been a tournament filled with memorable matches.
Yeah, me too. The season in general, this is one of the ones that stands out for me because of it. Like I mentioned to Alonso, you can tell how much he's starting to love the game and the way that he was fighting, but also it just proved again how much the Kid loves this thing. And he's like, oh no, this is gonna be the end of it. I know it. You can see him kind of pacing back and forth. He's and then he is a student of the game, and as much as I bust his chops, he did the right thing as far as his challenge goes because he's a gamesman. He took what he learned from players like Ben Bateman and these other ones, and he made the move. And I thought it was the right challenge to make. But he even accepted it at the end. He's like, all right, well, I got the 1 point, and you can see his brain moving. Ben Bateman has called him this. Other people, he is the future of the league. This is going to be a guy who's a multiple. If he sticks with this thing, he's a multiple champion. He'll be champion in teams, he'll be champion in singles. Whether it happens this season or next, he's just got that kind of wherewithal.
I've never thought that fast in my life. I've never had that much energy in my life. Then when you mix that with Coy Jander, Christian, I just feel like Wile E. Coyote after an Acme explosion went awry, and I'm just in this cloud of black powder, and I'm watching these two just take off. They're going to be hanging out and probably wanting to be manager and competitor for a long time here at the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Friendly reminder, everybody out there watching us, check out our Facebook fan page, join, become a member today, and wherever you enjoy your podcast, you can check out the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, congratulations on having this voice in your ears. Please rate, review, like, all that good stuff. It really helps us out.
And don't forget, tomorrow, it is massive. The fourth battle live on pay-per-view. The Schmoedownlive.com, or if you're at $10 patron tier already, you will see the Founding Fathers, the team's championship, putting the belts on the line against corruption. Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison trying to regain their championship. And the undercard. Who's the boss in a number one contender match against, you just saw him, Shazam, the Kid and the Beast trying to get to that title shot.
Woo, boy, it's going to be exciting in there. In the words of the great Dave White, where's my breakfast?
All right, everybody. Well, we are going to have so many more matches next week, and what a week of matches it already has been. The singles tournament has come guns a-blazing, and the factions are in the middle of a war. If you want to find out the schedule, you want to find out the faction rankings, you go to the Schmoedownlive.com. Definitely go to that Clips channel, subscribe, do the whole thing. For Mark Ellis, I'm Christian Harloff. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, that was a damn awesome match. Exactly like I thought it would be. It came down, both competitors had to answer their fives, but Brendan, he inched out Alonso. It was a fantastic match. Both guys were on their A games. I'm really curious to know what that Captain Underpants answer is, so I'm going to go look that up after I'm done with this, because I'm curious to know. Me, I might have guessed like Steve Coogan or something. But awesome match. And two of the nicest guys. You know, you can't help but to root for both of them. But yeah, this was fun. And tomorrow night, another big event. Shazam takes on Who's the Boss for a #1 contender match. And then the team's championship. The Founding Fathers defend against Corruption. These teams have faced off 3 times already. Corruption has the edge 2 wins to 1, but the last time these teams faced, Founding Fathers took those belts. So you know, it's going to be amazing tomorrow night. I cannot wait. If you like my reactions, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Christopher Woodburn. You can find me on Twitter, Chris Woodburn83. Facebook, Christopher Michael Woodburn. So until next time, Mr. Boy C-Dub, peace.